Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you are in a good condition. So, thank you for the chance that was given to me to share my interests or my topic that will be my future research. So, from the first semester, I I was interested in doing the finding in speaking skill because I believe language is about the use of it later on in the society or in the academic setting and etc. I believe that language will be related with the spoken skill because as we observe, English is spoken all around the world, and this what triggers me to do more finding or more sources to elaborate something new that may be that could be useful for the better contribution in the academic setting, especially in the English education department. So, my topic for today's research is the effects of using situation comedy on English speaking. I took this journal from Taylor and French's journal, and this research was conducted by Gülen Ulusoy and Muhammed Demir Bilek in Isparta, Turkey. They conducted this research in 2013 at two separate 10th grade classes consisting of 60 students studying in Isparta Anatolian Teachers Training High School in Turkey during their spring semester. So, based on what I have read and observed from this journal, I found that the purpose of this research was to investigate the effect of the sitcom as an authentic material or the authentic video on English speaking ability. The significance is to contribute to the speaking abilities of English language learners by using the authentic material in English language education. The reason why they conducted this research, or we can say the novelty, because there are very few studies conducted on using sitcom or multimedia feature authentic material in foreign language education, and especially on the effect of a sitcom on speaking and communicative competence in middle school students in Sparta, Turkey. And in the introductions part, they gather the general definition and concept of speaking from some previous research. Noonan in 1998 stated that speaking is the natural skills of human which makes us as a human become a special creature in communication because only human who can do that compared to the other creatures. This idea was also supported by Liefeld 5 years before, which emphasizes the point that every day we speak in our life for many purposes, telling a story, discussing something, and etc. Speaking also refers to our sophisticated skill. Why is it sophisticated? Because it combines our human cognitive and linguistic motoric ability. When we express the particular sentence or particular vocabulary, it includes our cognitive and linguistic motoric, because the point is uh, the combination of skills is grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and social background is included in this thinking process. This is what Cunningham in 1999 stated as well. This statement also strengthens by McDonough and Shaw in 2003, which highlights speaking as an oral expression of humans in sharing some ideas and descriptions of a particular thing. And Luoma in 2004 also added that in speaking, it includes the pace, okay? The pace, the pauses, the stress, and intonation in its production. Brown in 2000 and Burns and Joyce in 2002 statements were in line with Luoma's. Those four things that mentioned before: pace, pause, stress, and intonation matters, because in speaking production, human needs to process and processing the perception and data which is uttered by human statement. In conclusion, Loma explained that speaking skills should be enhanced for language learners. Widowson also claims and relate the enhancement with the meaningful way in foreign language learning. Moreover, according to Brown in 2001, he defined the criteria of a good speaker is the one who knows the use of stress, intonation, gestures, and mimics appropriately in language pronunciation. And then, after observing the general concept of speaking abilities in the foreign language from some researchers, the second point that they elaborated was the several methods in language teaching approaches, which are grammar translation method, direct method, and then audiolingual, communicative approach, theme-based language instruction, and content-based language teaching. They elaborate that in a simple way and give a clear definition based on the previous research as well. Grammar translation method focus on the implementation of grammar, structure, analysis, and technique. Direct method focus on phrase and culture in language teaching and learning activity provided by the question answer activities. Communicative, students are exposed to the strengthening in the use of authentic language. We also know direct and audiolingual methods. The implementation of communication in the classroom, which the teacher becomes the facilitator in the learning process. And this thing was supported by the expert statement that I wrote in the Microsoft Word document. And then content-based language teaching includes the topic in students' communication to train them to use the language. Theme-based language instruction is the last, where the theme in language learning could be chosen by language students. Okay. The third point, they highlight the use of video, because I mentioned before it's about the sitcom, which is includes in the video as an authentic material. Gardner and Miller in 2005 exposed that authentic materials, in this case video, okay, are the form of printed or digital text. In the previous time or before that, it is not used for language education purposes. Authentic materials are usually produced by the native speakers. Okay, and then this is also supported that by some previous research statement, which you could read later in the Microsoft Word document, that they agree that the authentic material is made to show the real language used by the speaker of the target language. Okay, and Morrow in 2007 also described that authentic material has a natural communication in language learning and set in a real situation. Gardner and Miller and Evan also elaborated the authentic material for classroom learning that could be found in the form of newspapers, magazines, flyers, brochures, TV and radio programs, conferences, songs, letters, movies, and documentaries. But in this research, it focuses to the authentic videos, which is sitcom. Authentic videos such as movies and television are suggested. Why? Because it could enhance their accessibility and motivation in students when they are learning the speaking skill of English, because it brings the enjoyment, excitement, and real understanding of real communication in particular setting. The real context of oral communication is manifested by observing it, and it is more flexible than a rigid language structure. Sherman in 2003 also convinced us by learning English speaking through audiovisual material could help students in comprehending current vocabulary, grammar structure, expressions, culture, behavior, accents, and other social facts in a real social setting. By doing this, Loningen in 2004 stated students will become active learners by using authentic videos in the classroom. A sitcom is useful because it shows the real condition of the family, of community, and their relationship with the social, historical, and cultural context. Morelli in 2003 and Chen in 2008, also Billsborough 2011, also added that the importance of the sitcoms because it expressed the clear description and the real situation or the real setting of language education, culture, authenticity, and story, which become the references in social community setting. And this sitcom also presents face-to-face interaction with its viewers. Okay. As I have mentioned before, and based on what I read in this article, the researcher conducted this research because there are very few studies conducted on using sitcom or multimedia feature authentic material in foreign language education, and especially on the effect of a sitcom on speaking and communicative competence in the middle school students in Isparta, Turkey. Okay? The previous research only showed the use of cartoon an American melodrama which does not give the significant impact or results on students' progress. They they just show the comparison between pre-test and post-test. That's all. Okay. They apply a mixed method as the approach, which consists of an interview, observation, pre-test, post-test, and then lesson plans as the instruments in data collection. To analyze the data, they use scale, graphic, categories, and table. Microsoft Excel. They had these research questions in their interview and observation. So they asked the students, how did Mr. Monk situation comedy video contribute to the English level during these 8 weeks? And then how did it affect performance in English lesson at school? Do they feel any differences in students' English performances? And the final result showed that by using authentic video is the effective way in the result of post-test scores of the students group. Both the difference in the scores of control and experimental groups showed that by using the authentic materials and sitcoms to enhance their speaking ability can significantly affect foreign language students' speaking ability. So those are the points which I could share to you, and I hope what I shared this moment could be the useful knowledge for you and could be also the inspiration for us to do the further research, and for me as well, because I'm interested to do more exploration and more and deeper research on speaking skill. So I will also find other resources that could be useful. So in the next session of this video, I will also try to share to you the new method or the new way to enhance or improve or maybe create the new way in English speaking ability. Okay, thank you for listening. See you in the next session, and God bless you.